Hey, we got it in one try this morning. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, the 11th of February, 2020. And we are here with Belle in the room that, because it is upstairs at the house, last night I started calling it the Belfry. I thought it was pretty clever. It's not that clever. Anyway, I still haven't weighed these little babies yet this morning, and I was hoping that I could ask that someone on our Discord chat could just take a note of the weights. I'll weigh them here on the close-up, and then after I'm done with the close-up, I will put them into the spreadsheet. So I hope one or more of you will just note down the 3 weights that we're going to get, and that way I can pop them in afterwards, or if I have to, I'll go back and watch the close-up myself. I don't like to do that. Anyway, let's do it. Let's check these babies and see how much they weigh. Here we go. All right, and we'll just go. I think they're in order. I think we start with Foghorn, who's buried, of course. So this is Foghorn. Hi, Belle. It's okay. Belle gets a little nervous about this, but she's getting better all the time, and her babies are getting better all the time, too. Actually, I think these are some of the least complaining babies we've had as far as being held. All right, so Foghorn weighs 7.2 ounces. Settle down. We're going to call it 7.2. Hey, Foggy. What's up, Foggy? Come on, put your head up here so we can all see you for a second. Look how cute he is. So Foghorn is 7.2 ounces. We weigh in ounces for historical reasons. Our old vet used to measure everything in ounces, so we would go with that. But it's been a long time since that's been the case, and we still haven't switched. So we ought to switch to grams or something that's a little, I don't know. So this is our number 2 baby. He's got a couple eye boogers I can see. This is little Beep. And Beep is... I guess we'll call it 5.9 for Beep. All right, Beep. I think you need to work on gaining some weight. Beep has been this behind the whole time. He's going to be the small one in the family, I can tell. Little Beeper. He's a cutie pie, though. I'm just going to double check. Got 5.9 for Beep. Okay, buddy. I know. Well, it's good to see you. Okay. And they're having a little slap fight over here about who gets to nurse, but I can tell you I'm going to have to come in on this fight because I'm taking away Klaxon. All right, so this is our 3rd kitty, Klaxon. Klaxon. Klax on, Klax off. Klax on. Klaxon. 6.1. All right, so that's good. I guess Klaxon and Beep are more in line, and it's really just it's Foghorn is way out of line there. Let's double check Foghorn to make sure that was a good measurement. So this is our little Klaxon. Okay, buddy. Foghorn, we're gonna double check your weight, pal. Just gotta double check. Reading 0. Drop him in there. 7.2. Okay, it's consistent. Happy about that. Yes. So, yeah, I saw someone asking. Klaxon is spelled with a K, Klaxon, and it is a type of horn. I think it technically means like an electronic horn, like an alarm that you would put on a door or something when it opens. Belle, you got a little tiny bite of food left. You did a good job, though. Wow, you really went through that. That was good. So Belle has just been a cutie pie. She likes to. She's such an experienced mom cat. She's been through this a few times. As we know, she's been through it at least once before, and we suspect probably a lot more than that. But We know once because Tinker is her baby. Tinker is her adult baby who's now 3 years old, who's downstairs. We're going to go see Tinker in just a minute. Oh, hey, I should mention, Ellie, you said all males. Hey, I just gotta say something. It's and I'm gonna blame DJ for this. It's really sort of my fault too, since I went along with it. We we still think they're all boys, but I just have to admit to a certain amount of uncertainty. That's all. Just a certain amount of. We're not quite 100% sure yet. This is the first class that we've had that's all the same sex. So they're either all boys or all girls. I can tell you that much for absolutely certain. But normally it's nice to have, both so that we can compare, and that makes it a lot easier to do that sexing, right? And this is the first time when we haven't had anyone to compare back and forth, and that makes it a little bit trickier. So we'll keep checking. Oh, okay. Yeah, Fable's class maybe was all girls. All right. Well, at any rate, that was my excuse. I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with my excuse, you guys. Don't bust me on this. I do still think that they're all boys. I just want to admit to a certain amount of uncertainty. That's all. So I wanted to put that thought out there in case later on I have to get on the stream and be like, actually, they're all girls. Just in case. So I don't know. Okay. Where was I? I was just talking about Belle and how sweet she is. She is a total sweetheart. Like I was saying, she's an experienced mom, so she spends a little bit more time out of her box than some of the moms that we have had. She knows exactly when her babies are sleeping and relaxed. She can go out, and she knows then if they make any noise or if something's going on, she'll run right back to them. But she still likes to go out and look out her window, which she still does on a regular basis, or walk around the room, or she'll just lay on the floor right outside the box and take a breather. So it's good that she gets plenty of time for herself. Plus, I've still come in here each day and spent some time snuggling with her away from her babies, which she really likes, and we try to watch a little TV on the phone or something, which I think she enjoys. She seems like she kind of at least looks at it. She probably enjoys the stuff moving around. So she's a sweet snuggle bunny. And she also has climbed up on my lap to get my attention now, that's progress in our relationship. It used to be that I would have to pick her up and put her in my lap, and then she would stay in my lap for, hours while we sit and watch TV or whatever. But she would never get there on her own. But lately, now, if I sit in the beanbag chair for long enough, she'll eventually decide, all right, I got to go to him, and she'll get up and come and sit in my lap. So it's really sweet. I'm so fond of Belle, is what I'm trying to say. I'm very fond of her. She's a sweet kitty. And I'm excited to someday see how she does with the faculty, and maybe even if she gets to meet the rest of her family again. But that's way down the road. We don't normally do any introductions for mom cats until after their kittens are weaned, and that's about a month down the line for them. So yes, like Andrea Chu is saying, you can definitely apply ahead of time for cats that aren't even here yet and kittens that aren't even here yet. Our application is on our website, which is kitten.academy. And you can apply for kittens that are here, or kittens that aren't here, or whatever your heart desires. That's how some of Tinker's babies got adopted by people that had applied in advance, which is how they got adopted. Some of them, they're not all adopted yet, but some of them were adopted within 3 hours of the time that they arrived here at the academy. And that's because of people that had pre-applied. Hi, Brooke. Brooke's sitting right outside the door waiting for me. So Brooke spent another night out around the house all last night. She did great. There were no incidents whatsoever. And as I said she likes to do, in the morning she was very polite and was doing her own thing until she heard me waking up. And then she comes right up onto my bed, right up to my head, and she starts purring and rubbing on me and trying to get all of the attention and affection that she can have. And she is a sweetheart. And I haven't announced this to anybody yet because I don't even know if I'm supposed to announce it yet. But I got to tell you, there is an approved applicant for Brook. And the reason I was going to wait to tell anybody that is that I'm not sure if the applicant even knows yet that they have been approved. So I apologize if you are someone who has applied for Brook. It might be you. I don't know how many people applied. And if you haven't heard yet that she's adopted, and this is the first that you're hearing of it, and you had applied for her, don't feel disheartened. It may very well be you, and you may just not have heard yet. Like I said, I'm not sure that Dawes has contacted the adopter yet, but that's what I'm told now, is that she has an approved adopter. So I mean, that's as close to official as we can get until she actually goes home. As close to being able to say yes, she actually is adopted, and it's fantastic. I'm really happy about it. I asked Dawes just a couple questions about her adopter because I wanted to make sure that she was going to a home that was prepared for, maybe some of her special needs, which is not the, oh, somebody is under the bed back there. I think that's Custard. Custard, somebody on the stream noticed that before I did. Molly, nice, good eye. I didn't see him back there. Which is also good news. It means she's getting a little bit better about people being in what she considers her private space, although she may just not have seen him yet. And if she does see him, maybe that will change right here and she might go after him. She does get a little possessive about her space that she believes is hers. Out in the house, she's much cooler about things, but we've been leaving this door open now that she's so accustomed to everybody, and now that we've made such good progress. This is the final frontier for us, is getting her to accept other cats in her zone. So I was saying that I talked to Dawes about her adoption and her adopter, and I said, look, we don't think that she has diabetes anymore, so whoever adopts her is probably not going to have to worry about giving her medicine, which is good. But she's a little bit of a slow introduction. You've got to take your time. She needs to have a private room. And then over time, and it took us, somebody could do the math, it's been 4 or 5 months that she's been here. 4 months, I think, something like that. It took us a lot of time and effort, and we had to go really slow to introduce her to everybody and to get her to be okay going around with the faculty. So I said, do they have other cats? Is she going to have a private room? Is she going to be, a slow introduction over a lot? Do they know what they're getting into? That it's going to be a struggle, but it's going to be worth it. And she said, yeah, that they had a private room for her. They do have other cats, and they know they're planning on letting her have her private room and to slowly introduce them. So it's going to be great. And yes, Sherry Rose, she might miss me, but I am totally going to miss her. I've really fallen in love with little Brookie. She's a sweetheart. And she's come such a long way. Her adopter probably knows, because probably has been watching the whole time. But, when she first came, she would hiss at everything. She would hiss at me. Like, it's almost her way of communicating. And, she seems like she talks a big game. And I was afraid at first that she would be a cat that actually might, bite or scratch a human being. But she's not. I've learned over time that I don't think she ever would. But she makes you believe that she would. She hisses and she just looks so angry at you, and she really makes you believe that she's going to do something, and act on that anger. But she's not. She's a sweetheart. She's like one of those people that's just all gruff on the outside, but inside is a little softy. Which is just charming, I think. She's rubbing on her cat tree now and just being so cute. So yeah, like I was saying, she's, at first I thought she was going to be a real hard case, and with a slow introduction, she turned out to not be that at all. She still, once in a great while, she'll take a run up at one of the faculty, but that's another thing where I think she's really good at making the faculty believe that she's going to do something. But then she never does. She never does. She'll run up at them, and then there's a big noise, and usually they run away. But then she doesn't pursue them. She doesn't bite them. There's just nothing that happens in the end because she's not serious about it. She just talks a big game. But really, she is a sweetheart, and I like that about her. Also, I love her little ear tufts and her cute little face. Oh, gonna miss her. So anyway, like I said, her adopter may not even know yet. So that's still real early news. And nothing's for sure until it's done. So, we always sort of take these things with a grain of salt. We don't count our mom cats until they hatch. But it's good news, nonetheless, that we heard that she does, in fact, have an approved adopter. I couldn't be happier about it. I wasn't even sure I was going to tell you guys this morning, but then I just couldn't keep it to myself. It's such great news. All right. So here we are with Tinker and her kids. And Tinker is obviously Belle's daughter. This is Belle's daughter, Tinker, the 3-year-old. And then Tinker's kittens, who are Belle's grand kittens, like I said. This is Putter, little Putter. And somebody was just attacking Putter there. I think that it was our girl, who is Dabble. There's Dabble. Hi, Dab. And then behind them is little Trifle, the orange boy. He's going to cover up the food with the rug. Good luck, buddy. You just stepped in it. You just put your back foot right in the food, pal. That is not the way. So let's see. Oh, nice jump too. Did you see that? He can't quite jump all the way up there. He's so tiny. He's the small one in this class. Trifle, Dabble. This is Mom Tink. This is Putter. And then Monkey is the other boy who must be here somewhere, right? I just don't see him anywhere at all. You guys know where he's at? Where's Monkey? I didn't lock him out. Oh, no, there he is. He's on the tree. He's behind it where we can't quite see. So this morning, we allowed them their first exploration time by opening these doors and opening the living room to them. I put the fence up so the faculty wouldn't go in there. And it was open for a good long time while I was making the breakfast for the kitties and all that stuff. But as usual, and this is the way it goes for almost every class when they're first allowed, when the doors are first open, they weren't that interested in going out there. You know, it's a big, scary, different thing, and they really like their room. Now, as a matter of fact, Monkey and Trifle and Tinker all did go out, but each for only about 5 seconds, just long enough to look, and then they came right back in. So they weren't quite ready for it yet. But like I said, that's how it goes every single time. We open it up the first time, they get the idea that that's a space that they could go to. And then we sort of let that idea sink in. And usually by the second or third time that we give them access, they're out there exploring, and then soon they're running around. And then it's not much longer after that they just wait at the door for me to open it and run out. So we'll get there. Anyway, this is little Monkey in a surprising moment of calm. And somebody had asked, they said, you know, Monkey's eyes always look so dark on all the photos and the camera. What color are they? And I will tell you that they are a deep blue, and he's old enough now that they might just actually be blue. They might stay blue forever. Can you see that a little bit? There you go. Oh, now I'm too close. Sorry. I know the camera, it is hard for the camera to pick it up, and I think some of that's just because there's so much contrast between the white of his face and his dark blue eyes. But I think he might be one of those rare cats that actually has blue eyes and keeps them forever, because the rest of his family is all changed from their blue to their permanent colors. I don't know if you know that about kittens. Usually around 6 weeks or so, before that, they all have blue eyes. And after that, they each get their own individual colors. Like here's little Putter, who's got sort of hazel green eyes. I would describe them as sort of hazel green. There you go. You can see that. So that's our Putter. Hey, bud. Hi. You know, Rita, I don't know. I've never had a cat that had an obvious problem with hearing, but I've heard a lot of people that have said that white cats with blue eyes can sometimes have trouble with their hearing. I don't know if it's true. Like I said, we've had a few white cats. We've even had one, Coconut, I believe, had the blue eyes and was all white with no markings whatsoever and could hear just fine. So this is our girl, Dabble, and you can see she's kind of got the green eyes going on too. Just sort of a hazelish green. So, and she's clearly a long-haired floofy kitty, I think. Speaking of long-haired floofy kitties, DJ is the one that has been the expert on who is going to floof up. And she was checking Foghorn last night, and she told me Foghorn is definitely going to be a long-hair kitty, which surprised me, but then she showed me how long his fur is already. It's a little hard to tell, and I think she might be right. Foghorn might end up being a long-haired, which is something else. Hi, Tinko. Hi, Tinko. I gave Tinko some gabapentin this morning because shortly after this live stream, what time is it now? I might even be running late. Let's see. No, I got plenty of time. Okay. In about an hour, we are going to leave and go to the vet with these guys. So it's Tinker and her family are going back to the vet today, and they're going to get the vaccines that they didn't get when we went for their first visit. They took their first visit there to go get their vaccines, but they didn't get them because little Trifle wasn't feeling well, and we thought we should get them all feeling well before we vaccinate them. And so we put it off, and today's the day we're going to go back and get those vaccines done. And because Tinker got sick on the way back from the vet last time, and I thought some gabapentin might help her feel a little better about the car. Serenia would probably be even a better bet, but I'm all out of the Serenia pills, so just have to do what we can. Gabapentin, Ellie Brown. Gabapentin is, I know it's like an anti-seizure medicine for human beings, but for cats, you use it quite a bit as a calming agent. It's like a Valium or something, you know. It really helps calm them down quite a bit, and can also work with as a mild sort of analgesic effect, you know, like a painkiller. So we get a lot of mileage out of gabapentin, actually. We use it on a daily basis for Smokey. It's how we treat Smokey's old joints, basically arthritis, and I think it works pretty well for her. And we also use it on a nearly daily basis for Custard, because Custard can be a bit of a bully, as you know. This is Trifle, by the way. Hi, little Trifle. Custard can be a little bit of a bully, and we find that when he is being a bully, what we will do is give him just a little bit of the gabapentin, and that calms him right down, and he usually has a pretty good day after that. So that's about it. Anyway, we are over 20 minutes on that note, so I want to say thank you all for watching, and the only real news is, like I said, we're going to, the only real news is that Brook has an approved adopter. You don't get any better than that. But the only other news is that obviously these guys are not going to be on the regular Kitten Academy live stream for a little bit today because we will be at the vet. So keep that in mind. And I guess that's about it. I want to say thank you to all of you for joining me again this morning. I really appreciate it. I appreciate getting a chance to chat with all of you each morning. And I know there's a lot of folks on the chat. I can't follow the chat the whole time. I try to keep an eye on it, and I try to respond to people when I can, but it's almost just, you know, I can't respond to everybody. I wish I could. But I appreciate all of you being there anyway, and getting a chance to say things to you directly when I can. It's special for me, and I hope that you guys enjoy it too. So, as usual, let me remind you all that you can watch these kittens for most of the day and Belle's Kittens all day on the regular Kitten Academy live stream right here on YouTube. And we will do this again tomorrow morning. So I will see you all then. All right. Thanks, everybody.